there has never been technical difficulty that we've been in.
All right, you should be live now.
All right. All right. Wow. Hey, Brad. Hey, how you doing? Hey, guys. Welcome to YouTube Live. I apologize already. Tyler has had lots of coffee today.
Yes.
So,
Also, Sun's Out, Guns Out.
Sun's Out, Guns Out. Definitely, he's up in the game. Yeah, there's so many comments that can be made right now. But we're so glad you're here today. We got a fun night planned with some extra special guests, like we promised. So expert and special guests.
True.
So we got both.
Yeah.
Like we outdid our three. So three. There we go. That's cool. All right. Quarantine Cup. We need to update you on who's in what place through week 2. You guys have been killing it. Two. Actually, some of your groups have been killing it. Some of your groups are not so killing it. But here we go. Third place is. I totally forget.
It's Jessica.
Oh, Jessica's group.
No, wait,
It's not third, is it?
Third place.
No.
Blake and Isaiah.
Blake and Isaiah's group. That's right. Blake and Isaiah. They were here.
Psych.
Yes,
Psych,
third
Jessica's
place.
group.
You are in third place. But it's second place.
Jessica McKillop's
McKillop's group. And I know what you're going. Like some of you are going like, oh, what happened to the 2 first place teams from last week? Did one of them fall and trip?
One of them
may have.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe
It's
they
tied
for
for first. Katie Kafka and her 6th grade girls. And Evan and Caleb and soon to be junior guys.
Soon to be junior guys. They are tied. So, going to be a great last 2 weeks of competition. And remember, no matter where you're at, 200 points total through the 4 weeks get you into the drawing for a chance to win a trip to Topgolf Omaha. I just called it. They're going to open in 2 weeks. So they're going to be open July 1st. They're ready to go. Or the amazing pizza machine.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard choice.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Katie's group would choose. What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. Topgolf.
Probably Topgolf? Yeah.
They're winning, almost winning.
They're almost winning.
Almost winning.
They're just not losing.
Not quite there yet.
No.
Keep representing at the drive-through.
Monday
That
drive-thru.
is where a lot of points are coming.
That could be the deal breaker because we're talking about 5 points could make a difference.
It's 5 points if you come and say your group name. And actually, Jensen's not going to be here this next week. So we're going to have a new person with a clipboard
Yes.
that you're going to let know, hey, I'm in this group. I get 5 points. We have some pictures.
Yeah,
actually.
let's show you some pictures of this past week.
Yeah, so it was 80s themed.
80s
So
themed.
this is our band.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have an idea of what we should title our band, let us know.
Yeah.
Shoot it in the comments.
It was pretty awesome.
Yes, and then also we awarded extra points for people who really went above and beyond
Yes.
the 80s theme. So
And Katie's group
this
may
was
be the reason why. This may be the reason why
this
Katie's group is
this
tied.
was
Yeah,
yes.
there we go.
And then Joy in the 80s is amazing.
Yeah.
But the car was Ghostbusters, but that makeup.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
amazing. So extra points.
Extra points.
They got extra points
Yeah.
for decorating.
Still not in the top 3, but trying.
But Katie's group, the
Katie's
extra
group
points
is. Help
was clutch.
them get tied for first. All right,
Yes.
here we go.
Next week, wait, can I do
Oh, yeah,
this?
I'm sorry. My bad.
Gosh.
I know. push it.
90s. Next week,
The 90s. 90s.
So, be careful, because I was born in this decade, so I will take personal offense if it's not 90s.
I can't wait. You all just like Tyler as a baby. There we go.
That's what I would say too.
Very good. Now we're going to go to, we got some pictures. You guys killed this whole idea of making food for your family. So here we go. Here's some amazing food items.
Yes, this is all from the Quarantine Cup. So one of the challenges last week was cook a meal for your family. So yeah, you can go through these pictures.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
that's
that's
so
good.
good.
That's like- Also, buying Chipotle.
Yeah.
Look at that.
If you buy us Chipotle, that probably would be bonus points too.
Evan made those pancakes. Caleb bought her donuts.
Boom. That's a good one. That is very
I like
good.
that one. And then Noah, look at that. Ooh, using the spatula.
That's even charcoal. That's even the
charcoal one. That looks
Ooh,
really good.
that's good.
Yes. So good work. We will have more challenges
More.
at the end
Yes.
of tonight.
So pay attention.
Yes. So first up, we have our special guests. So we have
Yes.
2 special guests tonight. These were the only guests that actually texted us and said, hey, we are willing to come in and be a part of YouTube Live next week. Last week they texted us that.
Right. So here's just a warning before we bring them on. A couple things. First, if you would like, as a student, if you'd like to be here, please let us know, and we will choose from all the people who want to be here, because there is a chance to earn extra points. Second thing is, we realized afterwards that maybe the sixth grade boys may have come off pretty strong, and maybe maybe it just had hurt some of the eighth grade girls' feelings, and we really feel sorry about that. And so,
Well, it's ironic how the people that are here today, I don't know if it's out of retaliation or if it's out of just, I want to do this because I love being on TV and screens. I don't know, but
I don't know.
We'll bring them on.
We'll bring them on.
Eighth
Here we
grade
go.
girls, come on out here. Woo! We have Miss Olivia and Miss Sydney. So look at that. What are you guys holding?
Wow.
Well, the eighth grade boys last time made signs, so we figured we had it. What about them make signs too?
So wait, what does yours say, Sydney?
Eighth grade boy or eighth grade girl.
Oh, no!
Eighth grade girl. Sixth grade boy.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Olivia, what does yours say?
Mine says eighth grade woman
Ooh!
are superior, and it also says take the L, sixth grade boys.
Wow. Take the L. Well, this is going to continue to rocket you guys forward in the standings of Quarantine Cup because you get 10 points each for being here from Jessica's group. So good job on that. I wanted to say though, how does it make you feel knowing now that you guys, gals, are actually above those 6th grade boys? So you are one up on Blake and Isaiah. How does that make you feel?
I feel fantastic about it.
Yeah. I mean, our group's pretty small, but
Just go ahead and turn on
small
Sydney's
pie, we
mic.
can
There
win.
you go.
Yeah, we're the only people that join these groups.
Nice. So you're representing Jessica's group.
Yes,
That's incredible.
join other people in Jessica's group.
That's awesome. You're carrying the team.
Yeah.
So that's great. So awesome. Well, thanks for being here today, gals. We are going to roll into a scavenger hunt. So you ready for this? Last week we asked for 2 items from the guys who were here. So we have 2 items from you as well. So kick us off, Olivia, with this. The theme around tonight is it's hot outside. So what is something that when you get hot, you like to have?
Ice cubes.
Ooh, ice cubes. Okay, so the first thing that you need for your scavenger hunt is ice cubes. Sydney, what about you?
Being a redhead, I burn really easily, so sunscreen all the way.
Sunscreen all the way. What kind of sunscreen do you use?
Spray.
The spray. Okay, so do you want to specify? Do you want them to have spray sunscreen or just any sunscreen?
Any sunscreen.
Any sunscreen. Okay, so we have ice, we have sunscreen, then we need you to get a book because some people like to read when it's hot, inside or outside. And then a fan, and this means like an oscillating fan or a ceiling fan. Or fans of 8th grade girls. Would that work?
Yes, we need those fans too.
You need those fans. So if you're a fan of the 8th grade girls, you can write on a piece of paper, I'm an 8th grade fan. And then, in honor of Tank Top Day, a tank top. And you can text me at 402-202-1260. So you can text those in. Do you have any stories that you'd like to share with the world?
So today I had to go lift, and all of the girls, they have bleach blonde hair, and they're all disco girls. And I don't know what to do about it, but
Nice. Would you label yourself as a disco girl?
partially. I have a Hydro Flask. Its name is Sally.
Yes. Do you have a
And-
sticker on it?
Yes, it has a Sally sticker on it, and it has all these different stickers on it that I just adore. And yeah,
I love it.
Save the turtles.
of course.
All right, Sydney, what about you? What are you gearing up for this summer?
I'm gonna be tassel in July, so get ready for that.
That's incredible. All right, we may have a winner. I need to look. We have a book, ice cubes, and I think that's it. Oh, wait, no, they don't have a bro tank. No bro tank or sister tank. All right, tell us another story. Or do you have any good jokes?
I have a good joke.
Okay, go for it.
Who's there?
Katie Perry.
Katy Perry.
Roar!
Yes, we'll be here all night. Awesome.
So where are you going to high school next year? And what are you excited about that? Because you're going to be freshmen.
I'm going to Southwest. I'm going to be on the cross country, basketball, and track team. I'm also going to be in band. It's a lot, but we're excited.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Um,
Nope.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to East. I'm excited to be in band too.
Yes, Tiffany.
What instrument do you play?
Alto sax and clarinet.
I play tenor sax and sometimes also sax, but mainly. I'm also in jazz.
Marching band or concert band? Which would you choose if you had to choose one or the other?
Marching band.
I don't know, because I don't have the marching band, but we'll see.
I went to the like southeast one, like their 8th grade night with all my friends, but it was so much fun.
Yes, I like it. Well, we have a winner, and 8th grade girls are representing. We have Miss Renee Kafka. You win. There was a lot of people that didn't have like one of the 2 items. Like it was like no tank top or no fan. Oh, there it is. Look at that. All of the good stuff right there. So we will DoorDash you something, or no, we'll DoorDash. We'll DoorDash. So we'll reach out to you, Renee. I'll reach out to you. But thanks, gals. That was incredible.
Any last comments? Because, I mean, the 6th grade boys look strong. Do you guys want to leave anything to the 6th grade boys as you leave tonight?
You can't beat us. You're superior, and we're gonna take you out, and we're going to come to your houses.
That escalated real quickly. Okay, everyone. So that's Olivia's final word. Cindy, do you have any final words?
We're gonna win.
You're
Yeah.
gonna win. You can't top. We're coming to your house.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
I love it.
Well, that was the best guest ever. So, if you think you can top that, please reach out to us. We'd love to up the trash talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
all right.
like that kind of, entertainment. Yes.
Well, Jensen and I are here to do the City of the Week. We've been going around to giving just some little history about different places in Nebraska, and we're just trying to get to know Nebraska a little bit more. So even Tyler learned something this week. So here it is. We're going to play. You get 10 bonus points for each correct answer, and put your name, put your name, the answer to the question, and your small group leader's name in the chat to get 10 points.
Very
First one in
important.
wins. So this City of the Week, the public school is nicknamed the Bulldogs. It's number 1.
All right, hit number 2. It is in Platte County. Ooh.
And this metropolis has a swimming pool as part of the city.
Another hint, a school from this town lost the D2 girls basketball championship game this past year.
Wow.
Mhm.
So also a team from this city won the D2 2019 football championship. So
Bunch of incorrect guesses.
there is
Oh.
that should be enough for you to narrow it down to this amazing city that you are going to get to know. Just a lot of really cool details. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm excited.
yeah, this has been pretty incredible. As soon as we get a correct answer, this is kind of wow. I think some of you should just really look. We gave you some really clear things to
Maybe
go
it.
Google real quick,
Yeah.
like the whole D2 2019 football championship.
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
Platte County, like the Platte River.
Just a clue: the sports teams were not the Bulldogs. There's 2 schools in this city, so you have to just a little trick there. We just wanted to. It's not the public school that won the D2 championship. It was the private school. Wow!
Wow.
I did not think this was this difficult. Begins with the letter H.
There we go. That's a big hint.
Yes, that
Start
should help.
guessing.
Man, this is wow. Not North Platte. Well, I did not think it would take this long. So, Jensen, tell me about the town you grew up in.
I grew up here.
Like here in the building or
Here in Lincoln.
Lincoln?
Yep.
Yep. And what high school did you go to?
I went to Lincoln Southwest.
Did you?
Go Hawks.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Did you do anything while you were there?
I did theater and show choir, and regular choir.
Nice.
And
What was your favorite show choir year?
the only year I was in it.
There you go. It was that memorable. All right, the correct answer is Humphrey,
Humphrey.
Nebraska. So Humphrey, Nebraska, make sure you get researching that because here we go with some trivia. Go.
Yes, according to Wikipedia, the 2010 census of the population of Humphrey is what?
How
All
many
you have to do is go
people?
to Wikipedia.
Yeah, go to Wikipedia, Humphrey, Nebraska, population 2010.
How many people?
Yeah.
It's more than Palmyra, fun fact.
It is more than Palmyra and more than Sterling from last year.
Last
Close.
week.
Last year. Seemed like a year ago.
Seems
But
like 300 years.
300, 3,000, year 3000. All right, next question is, what year was Humphrey founded? Or you may see the word platted, which I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I think it means it actually appears on a map, like they actually allocate space for this town. What year was it founded or platted?
I've never heard that before.
I didn't either until I researched it today.
I think you
So
made it up.
I'm pretty much researching. I'm now what's a mapologist? What's that word? It's not a mapologist.
Cartographer.
Cartographer, yes.
Good thing
Our-
we have Dan. We don't know much.
Dan, our resident expert here. If you ever want to play Jeopardy, Dan would be your guy. All right.
All right. So Humphrey was named after what city in what state? What city in what state?
Yeah. So what city and what state was Humphrey, Nebraska named for?
So the city
Yeah.
is.
I don't know.
Easy guess.
Maybe. Maybe. Also, it was just an extra trivia. It was because it was the hometown of the first postmaster of Humphrey, Nebraska. That's why they named it Humphrey. It was because the postmaster, the first postmaster, where he grew up.
What's a postmaster?
They're really good at digging posts. I don't know.
Or is it like the post office
I
master?
don't know. Maybe it's the post office master. That could be.
Cool.
All right, here we
All
go.
right, we're moving on.
All right, speaking of libraries and making fun of Jensen, I just want to give you okay, when did the Humphrey Library reopen after they were closed to the COVID-19 pandemic? When did the Humphrey Library reopen? Because this is why this is important, because as many of you know, Jensen is the librarian at the Palmyra Municipal Library.
Memorial Library.
Memorial Library, because it's very important.
Very
Get that right.
important.
So, Jensen, can you tell us, when did you guys open?
You know, Brad, we're opening Sunday.
You're opening that night, last Sunday, like this
Like
coming
this
Sunday.
coming Sunday, the
This-
21st.
The 21st, you're reopening. So if you're in Palmyra and you were waiting to get that book, Sunday,
Sunday, but you have to make an appointment.
you have to make an appointment. You can't just go to the library.
No. It's
What?
there's a whole
If
system.
it's a memorial library, why can't I just come in? I have to make a reservation with you to come into the
Yes.
library?
For now.
All right, so Palmyra residents, make sure you hit the library Sunday, call Jensen, get your appointment,
Yes.
make sure you get all those books that you've been waiting for. They're gonna be all the options are out there.
I know. I'm excited.
There we go.
It's gonna be good.
So that's also, by the way, just so you know, where's Jensen going? Well, Jensen, because the library's opening, her hours are 2 to 8 on Monday, so she will not be able to be at the drive-through.
Yeah.
She's still gonna be around here on Wednesdays and during the week, but just on,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I was mad because, Monday drive-through, the theme was 90s. I too was born in the 90s at the very end of it. But, I was excited.
So you're saying
Way at
Tyler's
the
old
end.
is what you're saying? That's why I heard that interpretation of that. All right,
Maybe.
next.
According to niche.com, how many students in PK through 12 are at Humphrey Public Schools? That website again was niche.com.
Yes. And that is not St. Francis, which is the private school in Humphrey. It is the Humphrey Public School. Bulldogs, go Bulldogs. I'm not sure they've won anything. I could not see that they had ever won any championship. But
Give your best impression of a bulldog.
Bulldog, I have nothing. I really don't.
Tyler,
How do you spell niche?
Niche.
Can I see that?
Niche.
All right. Well, we are all about experts here at LBCU because we like to bring the experts. Me and Tyler, we just like to surround ourselves with smart people. That's why we brought Jensen in because, she's the professional expert librarian. She makes us look good, makes us look smart. She talks about books all the time. It's incredible. So we brought in another expert tonight. We said we'd bring them in, and here they are ready to bring to you a word about being an expert.
Woo! I'm here. All right. Experts, Brad, thank you so much for that entrance. That was amazing. I'm just kidding. I'm not the expert. Miss Megan Keel.
Thank
Can
you.
you come on in here? Megan
Thank you.
Keel, here's our expert. She's going to let us know how to load those. Go,
Yeah.
Megan.
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here, you guys. Like Tyler said, my name is Megan Peel, and I work here at Lincoln Berean as the local outreach coordinator. I love my job because I get to interact with different nonprofits in the community help get volunteers and resources, and just help them come alongside what they're doing. So it's super fun. Prior to working on the church, I was actually an elementary teacher for 7 years. And 2 of those years, I lived in a different country, out in Cairo, Egypt. And so I have loved getting to explore the world, getting to explore the city, and just getting to surround myself with people who are different than me. And that's why I love this week, because we're talking all about how to love people who are different than you. And if I'm being honest, it's sometimes not easy. It's not something that I always think about doing. It's not something I'm always intentional with. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So part of God's beautiful design is that we are all so unique. We have different personalities, we have different callings, different giftings, we look different, and it's so beautiful that the world is made up of people who are all different and unique. I love that. But with that, it makes it really hard then to relate to people at times because they don't like the same things that we do, or they have a different personality than us. And God still, though, calls us to love them. He told us to love our neighbors. And essentially what that means is just to love others. But what's cool about that is he didn't just ask us to do it, he actually commanded us to do that. And he mentioned it over and over again in the Bible. And so this is a really big deal that we're going to dive in deeper with. But to understand a little bit about how do we love others, we have to know what that word love means and what God is talking about with that. So one of the things too is just misinterpreting it. But what God means with that word love is he's talking about agape love, which is God's kind of love. And it's not a feeling, but it's actually an action. So that's good news because we don't always feel like doing things, but with an action, we can still do it. And the Bible actually tells us that God loves us. We know that he loves us because he sent his son into the world to redeem us. So God's love is also an action. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty grateful that it is that way because I know there's times where God probably doesn't feel, the greatest things about me. I probably upset him, do different things. But even knowing that his love is constant, it doesn't change. And he wants us to love others in that same way. So to understand more about that love, we're going to look at this verse to show how love is an action. So we'll go ahead and read 1 Corinthians. It says, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. Does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. Does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And I know you've probably heard that verse a lot at weddings, and it's great, it's perfect for that, but God didn't speak that just for relationships or marriages. It's for all of us to live out that way. So we're going to look at a couple of these action steps specifically from this verse and what that means. So the first one that we see is patience. Now, I am not always patient, and that's fine because I can still act patient when I don't feel it. So that is a way that you can show love in action. Another way is kindness. There will be moments when you might feel like saying something sarcastic or feel like saying something mean, but showing that action love is saying something kind instead. That's a huge way to love others who are different than you. Another one that we see is not being jealous. There's going to be times where the friend's going to get on that sporting team and you're not, or there's going to be a friend that gets the job, or maybe even their TikTok video got more than yours. But showing that love in action is by celebrating them and cheering them on. Another way is love has good manners, and not just table manners, but inviting people into conversation, opening up the door for somebody, not interrupting someone when they're talking. That's a huge way to show love. And then lastly, another one is agape love is unselfish. The Bible says to consider others better than yourself. But here's another thing to remember. You don't have to wait to be unselfish because you can act that way. And eventually you'll start to become that way. So these are just all 5 truths that God tells us about his love. And sometimes it's pretty unpleasant to have to follow that. It can be hard because we're wired so differently. It's easy to love others who are similar to us, but it takes intentionality to love those who are different. If we aren't continually asking God for that love and seeking out those ways to be intentional, we might miss some opportunities that God has placed in our lives. And I'm actually going to share a story about that. Like I said before, I lived 2 years in Cairo, Egypt, and here's a couple pictures of
Amen. Awesome. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah.
Wow. That is why we bring in the experts.
Yeah.
That was great. I love your heart for people. I think that working with you on staff and our local outreach team is so blessed to have you on their team, because your heart is, you just show it by how you live your life. And so love that. I have a few questions for you. So I know that, those were big steps to go over to Egypt and really out of your comfort zone, out of your culture. And so it probably took a lot of things that kind of led up to making those big steps of letting people not like you. So I have a couple questions. So you were once a student.
Yes, a long time ago. I was not born in the 90s. Before the 90s.
Before the 90s. That's
It was
okay.
a long time
Not
ago.
too far though.
Not too far.
But so something that everyone can relate to tonight is they are a student. Or
Yeah.
we have families watching, they were students once as well. So
Yep.
you've gone through middle school and high school.
Mhm.
Can you think of a time or an example where either someone made you feel valued and cared for, or can you give an example of a time where you would actually let someone know that they were valued and cared for in school?
Yeah, for sure. My personality, I'm more introverted, and so it's hard for me sometimes to insert myself in conversation, and especially as a middle schooler and high schooler, I was pretty quiet, and it meant so much. And I can remember specific times when we sit at a lunch table and someone would turn to me and say, "Megan, what's like your favorite food?" Or what are you doing this weekend? And specifically ask those questions, and just feeling that love, like they wanted me into that conversation, they wanted me a part of that. Just a simple question that changes somebody's day.
That's awesome. It's like love in action.
Yeah.
Love in action.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So another thing that I think this would help for students is sometimes we make certain judgments or we perceive things that is really limited to our own little perspective, our own little worldview.
Yeah.
what are some ways that you would encourage students to maybe get out of that perspective and maybe broaden their worldview up a little bit more and start noticing people that are different than them?
Right, for sure. I mean, Lincoln's just a great place to get to do that. We have so many diverse neighborhoods and areas and pockets, and so just getting to serve, I think, is huge. The People City Mission is a great place. The Help Center, City Impact is awesome, where you're able to just get out of your neighborhood and immersed into the lives of others. But then even taking a walk in a neighborhood maybe you've never been in before, going to, there's tons, like on 27th Street, all those different ethnic markets and restaurants, like that's incredible. You know, being able to cook a meal from a different country, but even also in your neighborhood, like walking across the street and talking to a neighbor you've never talked to, or at school, picking a new lunch table to sit at someday, just to get to know new people. You know, all those are really tangible and easy steps.
Love it.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert, ethnic markets
Yeah.
could be coming up, so stay tuned. So last question, final question for you. So you were a teacher, you love to teach, teacher heart, you do everything about it, love teaching. So I'm sure that there were probably students who really, for lack of better words, got on your nerves, or that were really hard to love, really hard to show them. So maybe I'll ask a question. Can you give an example, before we go into the final question, can you give an example, this is just for fun, of ways that students get under your skin, or maybe teachers' skins?
Yeah.
Because I want this to be, like, I want this to maybe hit some hearts of people watching right now.
Losing pencils. I don't know what happens to pencils. The carpet eats them something, but you give a pencil and then 20 minutes later, another pencil is needed.
Yes.
Like, what did you do during that time?
Yes.
But I think a big one too that is hard is just when students would complain about having to go to school, because we have such a gift here in America where education is just so readily available, where most countries don't get that. And so not having an appreciation of that was like, oh, it's hard sometimes. Yeah.
Because pencils have to come from your budget, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like teachers literally buy those supplies.
Yes.
Like this is me giving you some of my paycheck, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how would you encourage students to maybe, how could they show agape love and care and value to students that maybe they see are hard to love?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's important to remember that teachers are humans also and have feelings and make mistakes, and they try their best and they really care about the kids that they're working with. So just writing a little thank you note on a sticky note or in a card and giving that to the teacher, showing some sort of appreciation in whatever way that looks like, asking a question about their weekend or their day or about their life, you know, all those just show some huge steps of just showing love to the teachers that you're working with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So thank you.
Yeah,
for answering those questions.
absolutely.
Our goal and our hope was, man, you are all students, right? You all have some sort of school context, whether it's homeschool, private school, public school. That's low-hanging fruit. How can I care for my teachers? How can I do that? I know we can't do it right now because we're not in school, but maybe just start making lists of how you're going to do that this fall. But now we're going to go into our weekly challenges. So Megan, I'm super stoked for these. Yes, if we can get the slide up on the screen, and we will go through all of those for you. So our 25.1, memorize one of these two verses, Romans 6:23 or John 3:16 in a foreign language. So that's minimum of 2 people. And as we go up from here, these challenges are going to start to get more challenging. And there's a point to that. We want the quarantine cup sprint to start like, we want it to be a race to the finish. So we're up in the bar here a little bit. So next week, they're going to be raise even higher. So this is big. This is for the big kahuna. So the next one, 50-point question.
Yeah, these challenges are awesome. I want to do them, first of all. But so for 50 points, you can schedule an additional Zoom meeting with your group where each person shares a name of another student they would like to get to know and invest to in the fall. The students can't currently attend LBC, so it has to be someone new. And then just committing to pray for them over the summertime.
Yes, that's how we can act. Sometimes that's all we can do to love people is pray. And I hate saying sometimes that's all we can do. Prayer is so powerful.
So powerful.
So powerful. So pray for them. So the next one, this is where the spoiler alert came in. So for 75 points, 3 people from your group will visit 3 different ethnic markets on 27th Street. So one person will visit Lobo City next,
One person will visit Oriental Market, and I put these in quotes so you can Google them. Like this is their title. And one person visits Little Saigon Asian grocery store. So you must purchase a small bag of goodies. So it can be cookies, it can be chips, it can be whatever. But then you have to share them with your family. So we want you to take a selfie of you in the store, send it to your small group leader, and then with you enjoying the snack that you bought from that store with your family.
Awesome. And then lastly, for 100 points, this is a great way to love others. So as your small group, commit to rounding up 15 different items from the PCM, so that's People, Cities, Missions, needs list, and bring them to the youth complex by Tuesday, June 23rd at 4 p.m. So make sure to let your small group know what you bought.
Yes.
And that link is down there. And you can
Yes.
also find it on the website, but they have that link there.
Yes, I just wanted to provide something. I know you can't click on that. But you can just Google PCM needs, and there's an actual list of everything that they need. And there's like little asterisks by things that they need like now type of thing. So go on, and we're going to donate those for you. You have to let your small group leader know what you brought.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is all that we have. Megan, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me here.
It's great
This
to
is
have you
great.
there. And
Yeah.
you even wore a camel shirt.
I did wear a camel
You wore a
shirt.
camel shirt.
Yes.
So see, Megan's cool like us. Or maybe we're cool with Megan. Okay, bye.